Oh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sure I did. Works for me. This is like major league different environment. It's crazy. This is boss's what?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
I have a cursor
what
now.
orchestrated this. What
Oh, it's
dark
gone.
secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Oh, I see how
But
it
of
is.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Stanley doesn't know it.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
I have ESPN.
Amazing.
I can do this in my
He
sleep.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Stop narrating my life, man. Unless you have the voice of Morgan Freeman, you can stop. Whoa. Trippy. That's like different. Oh my gosh. Is this like the Truman Show, but for Stanley? Is this all one big setup? It's probably not that in depth. I doubt there's that much depth to this story. It just seems like an existential game. More loading screens. I wonder how long this game is, and if I'll even know when it's done. Seriously, I wonder if I'll even know when it's
Descending
done.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alrighty.
Stanley
We're
walked
on-
straight ahead through
Whoa.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Mind control facility. Escape. Escape! Run away!
Although
I
this
can't do it.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at
What?
the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? No! But screw it. They're gonna give me another chance. They always do. How am I gonna die? This is a really long hallway.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Dang it, Mr. Narrator. Screw it, we've come too far.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted
Yes.
effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes, I am. Absolutely 100%. I don't want to work here anymore. I think I just committed suicide. But is it really? Is it? Stanley clearly has some mental problems. Would it be suicide? Yeah, it still would be. Still self-inflict. Whoa.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched
I'm not dead
closer
yet.
and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh, God. Wait, did it stop?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous
The voice
metal
changed.
doors. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
I'm still standing here.
Instantly.
But I'm still standing here. The fuck? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Who even knows?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of The Stranger by Camus. Any of you guys read it? No? Just me? Okay. It really reminds me of The Stranger right now. The Office. Button sounds. Oh. That reminds me of like an iPhone with Siri. Here, hang on again. This one right here. It kind of almost sounds like the Siri sound when you like go to talk to Siri. A little bit. Nope, don't like that one. The Stanley Parable credits. Let's go this way. I don't know what's over here. The Office. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Am I going crazy? Maybe it's the same image that was stuck there before. I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process for approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. What are you trying to say about the Steam community? These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. Okay, that's my favorite. This is kind of cool. Whoa, hello, what? Is this? Wow. That's really cool. I like that. Okay. The lounge. The apartment. Oh God. Oh, nothing happens when it hits 0. Lame. Well, do we want to continue forward, guys? Do we want to continue and see if there's another ending that I can get to? All right, let's see if I can find a way out of this. Exit. Simple enough.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Turn it off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
What are you even talking about? Who's
Perhaps
they?
not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
What is even going on?
Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
No.
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Oh, man. She actually cared about me. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Well, alrighty then. This is an interesting little game, isn't it? That's not what I meant to do. Is it just over? Why is it still black? Did the game crash on me? I hope not. It's possible that I died too. Well, I mean, obviously I died, but... Oh, I'm back in here.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my God, narrator, shut up.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Shut up. We're not going to the meeting room. We're going right, and then...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure. Cool story.
Wow. Yes. This
Yeah,
room.
we're just gonna run right through.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sure I did.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Sure, why not? Let's follow along.
Yet there was not a single person here
Yep,
either.
we know. We know
Feeling
that.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope, we're going downstairs. Too late, Mr. Narrator.
But
We've already
Stanley
gone downstairs.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I'm going in
All
a
of
loop.
my coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
I'm going in one really big loop.
Sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Like I'm stuck in a loop?
Example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah, we've been over
Why
this.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Kind of creepy.
And
Thought
for
they were
that
electric.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yeah, we figured that out,
No,
yes.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
I'm in the Matrix?
I'm dreaming! He yelled.
Oh.
This is all a dream.
That's less exciting.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
No, he's
He
pretty
thought to
crazy.
himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
That
Now
really
the
is in
voice
his
was
head?
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
This is
Stanley
ridiculous.
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Right?
After all,
He's like
he knew for
going
certain,
crazy.
beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Apparently
Did
it's
the voice
not.
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Explain yourself, voice.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Really? How am I going to pull that off?
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No, it won't. No way.
I am okay.
The fact that you have to convince yourself, Stanley. Come on. Oh, nope. I'm still in the same place. Same place I was in.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
Trippy as shit.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, we have a new person.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Oh yeah, because they have a distinct
and in
look.
that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
Oh yeah, because that's more important.
The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
That is
She
a lot
had
of
no time
commas.
for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Really?
And then she turned and ran.
What the fuck, Mariella? What? She is an awful person. Hey, we're back here.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of
Whoa,
it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
We have new commentary. And now. No. Huh. Boop. I heard that. Nothing. The doors aren't closing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, let's hit right again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I've already been through the employee
The
lounge.
lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sure, let's go down
And
this
so
time.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope,
and
no I
got
didn't.
back on track.
No, I did not. Take that, game. You don't know what I'm gonna do.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
It's all
from
locked.
Here it's, left.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
What? Why couldn't you give me a choice?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
I'm not
It's
sure.
Clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
What? You are in my mind, mister. You are supposed to know these
Let's
things.
see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes.
Okay.
I've got it now. This
Awesome.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
The door's gonna close on me again, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Cool. Well, alrighty. Whoa!
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I
What?
kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Wait, what?